After almost 2 decades, the Taliban are back in power in Afghanistan. Panic and fear has spread across the country as the Afghan public face the returning reality of Taliban rule once again. Why are people so worried about the return of the Taliban? In the previous regime, the Taliban were known to enforce their strict and extreme interpretation of Islamic law on the country. To put it simply, this puts a lot of people in danger. Journalists, free speech and human rights activists, and secularists among others were all heavily persecuted under the old regime. The situation for women's rights in Afghanistan was particularly bleak. Women in Afghanistan faced stringent restrictions on their personal freedoms. This included little access to education, being forced to wear the burqa, having to accompany a male relative when going outside, and having their jobs and any form of independence taken away from them. Failure to abide by the Taliban's rules often led to horrific and torturous punishments, including public executions. The previous Taliban regime also provided a safe haven for Al-Qaeda, Osama bin Laden's organisation which carried out the infamous 9/11 attacks, leading to the war on terror. Western nations now fear the Taliban's return will enable groups such as ISIS and Al-Qaeda to regroup and to re-strengthen their forces. The extremism and the fanaticism of the old Taliban regime won't be easily forgotten, exemplified by the destruction of the 2 ancient Bamiyan Buddha statues in 2001. There is also great concern over the upscaling in production of opium and heroin around the world, which has in the past been a major financial operation for the Taliban. Other restrictions included bans on Western music, TV, and heavy controls on freedom of movement. It is unclear what the future holds for the Afghan people. Spokesmen for the Taliban have insisted there will be significant changes from the old regime and that human rights will be respected. What is certain is that people in Afghanistan are afraid of the tyranny over the 1990s Taliban regime repeating itself once again. Afghan nationals and others who worked for the previous government and allied forces are especially afraid of reprisals. The chaotic scenes at Kabul airport exemplifies the life or death choices people now must make as Afghanistan faces an uncertain future under the Taliban.